What's up, email geeks? Welcome back to another episode of Feedback Friday. This week with an amazing guest. How's it going, Andy?
Hey, it's going really well. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, your Vacasa emails caught our eye on reallygoodemails.com. So could you tell us a little bit about your background and maybe a little bit about this brand?
I'm the email marketing manager at Vacasa, which is North America's largest vacation rental management platform. We manage 30,000 homes across 400 different markets, as well as rent out the homes that we manage for homeowners. I am the email marketing manager, touching everything from marketing to transactional emails and everything in between.
This episode is sponsored by NetCore, not your old school transactional email platform. This is email reimagined. Welcome to Email Reinvented, with the only email delivery platform that leverages AI to power deliverability and increased customer engagement. Schedule a demo with the link below.
I was hoping we could walk through some of these and maybe talk about what you like.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was actually a little bit of a different kind of promotional email that we sent. So all of our promotional marketing emails go out to previous reservation guests. So they are folks who are fairly knowledgeable or at least aware of Vacasa as a brand and have a previous stay with us. We do a lot of unit personalization, pulling in dynamic unit recommendations into emails. But this one, we wanted to do something a little bit different and really lean into one of the biggest travel trends of the last year being drive to destinations, which has been, super popular with everything happening and folks being hesitant to fly and being able to go somewhere that they can hop in their car and have a little bit more control over their destination and how they get there. So rather than, packing this full of personalized unit recommendations and things like that, we wanted to do something a little bit more fun and softer and a little bit more broad. So we tried to kind of recreate this road trip down the West Coast, highlighting a few of our favorite markets that we have homes to rent in.
Even at this top section, a lot of things are standing out to me. Really nice color palette, great use of live text. I even noticed, on mobile, you sort of left a line of this content, so it's a lot easier to read maybe on that smaller screen.
One of my biggest collaborators at Vacasa is a developer, Taylor Campbell, and he built the email workflow that we use. It's incredibly reusable and customizable with a huge base components that we can use and then customize as needed. And then it's got tons of styles and classes built into it as well. So doing things like taking text from center to left aligned on desktop and mobile is really, really easy. We've also just tried to be really strong advocates of accessibility in email and always rely on live text as much as possible.
So is there anything you might want to improve on this email? I know it's pretty polished. It's kind of a longer scroll, but I do sort of like how, you use these graphics to bring your eye down the email.
Yeah, super happy with how this came out. One of the tricky parts was navigating, how much white space was generated around the dashed lines with the icons, especially on desktop. I feel like they almost kind of look like they're floating. And obviously, in a perfect world, we could kind of tuck those dash lines up underneath the sections above and below them. Wanting to keep live text and all of those kinds of things and spacing consistent, we had to, keep them above the sections. Overall, I'm super happy with how this came out.
Nice. Could you tell me a little bit about this one?
This is actually our checkout abandonment email. This is one of a couple different checkout abandonment emails we have. So this is a user who starts the checkout process for a particular unit and then abandons before completing. We resurface that unit that they were looking at and link back to it in a few different places, try to encourage them to, complete that reservation. And we've done a lot of testing on kind of the CTA. Make It Yours is the current CTA. Previously, we were doing just Book Now, and we've tried a few different variants, and Make It Yours was the highest performer of the last round of testing that we did. And then we recently onboarded Affirm as a payment method partner, and we're all super excited about offering that. So that was definitely something that we felt made a lot of sense to surface in this email, where somebody got to possibly the payment screen and felt a little bit unsure about, making that last click. So surfacing this as a flexible payment option, I think is a really great recent addition that's only been in this template for a couple months.
Yeah, I like bringing in that level of personalization and utilizing that live text to maybe do that as well is really cool to see. And then whenever you can use, I'm guessing these, really great images or things like that, especially with travel emails, it's nice to see you guys bringing those in and letting them go full width on mobile and stuff. So yeah, I think specifically on mobile, this one's really optimized and would definitely catch my attention in the inbox.
It makes our job a lot easier when we have phenomenal images of homes like this one. It makes it really easy for us to just pull in the primary image of the unit that they were looking at, really make it pop. And, we make sure to use the default image for that home so that it's instantly recognizable from that session that they had on the site, and we'll know what we're reaching back out to them about.
I'm curious, is there a reason why you maybe don't show like prices in this email or?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So we actually did do an A/B test last year. It's been probably about 6 months, so it might be time to revisit. But we did have a version of this that had the reservation details with the home's name, the check-in and check-out dates, as well as the price that they were seeing in their cart when they abandoned. We had a couple different breakdowns of like just the total price, and then like the rent plus fees plus tax, and then like a subtotal. We had the highest click-through rate and the highest post-click conversion rate from this one that was a little bit more simple and clean. So that's what we ended up going with.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing those learnings. It's super cool to see testing emails like this that are maybe a more triggered email that can really make you a lot of money long term. So, and then this last one definitely caught my eye with this sort of wave, breaking up the color here. Great photography, great use of live text.
This was something where, again, like we're trying to lean into accessible destinations for folks. And so this was sent to users in our database that live in Washington, Oregon, or Idaho, where, traveling to the Oregon coast is pretty accessible. And so obviously like the waves, trying to kind of be on theme with the Oregon coast. Our email designer and developer, Rachel, came up with this design and with the waves to break up the kind of like the depth of field almost in like the header. That was actually something, I can't remember the exact email, but it was something I saw on Really Good Emails that kind of stood out to me. And I shared it with the team as an example of how we could use live text as the like main header title of the email, and then have the image below it, and then kind of do something underneath the image to kind of break it up and give a little bit of a sense of depth to it while still making that kind of main image pop. And yeah, I think it worked out really well.
It definitely stands out to me. I'm a big fan of just, these colors, again, working together. It's cool to maybe see a ghost button test to see if that would maybe perform a little bit better than, more like an all white button. But I think it really works for something like this, where there's a little bit more text leading you into that CTA.
I think if we had gone with our traditional kind of like yellow CTA with that accent line directly beneath it, it might have just been a little bit overpowering. And I really like the ghost button for this section as well. And had I been thinking a little bit more strategically at the time, I probably would have liked to have done a direct A/B test, but definitely something to think about for the future.
Anything else with these emails? Anything that's exciting with email? Anything upcoming?
We're just trying to keep being innovative and keep trying to take advantage of a lot of the great visual assets that we as a vacation rental company have access to. It really makes our job easier when we have great assets, but then it's kind of also on us to really take it to the next level. So that's always kind of a challenge with email, right? Because you want it to be easily scrollable and not be visually overwhelming and not get in the way of the objective of the email. And so that's something that I think that we're constantly striving towards, is like, how can we make this really visual and really pop to the recipient, but also not be overwhelming and be clean and easy to scroll through and easy to navigate.
Amazing work. I really like sort of experimenting with these different layouts and designs, and they all still feel like they're sort of part of the same brand and same design system. Thanks for jumping on and walking through these with us.
Cool. Thank you. It's so good to talk to you.